Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Math with Dr. War. Today we're going to identify if a graph is a function, and in order to identify, we're going to use a vertical line test. So we all know a vertical line is just a straight line that goes up and down. If you're given a graph and you have to identify whether it's a function or not, we use a vertical line. So here's my first graph. I'm going to draw a vertical line. Notice when I draw my vertical line, which is in red, it intersects my graph at one place, right here. Now because it intersects my graph only once, this is a function. You can draw your vertical line anywhere you want to. I could have drawn it over here. Notice it intersects once, which proves it's a function. I could have drawn my line here. It intersects only once, so therefore it is a function. You do not have to draw multiple lines, you just need to draw one line. If it intersects your graph at one place, then it is a function. Over here, this is my second graph. I'm going to draw my vertical line. Notice my line intersects my graph at two places, 1, 2. Because of that, this is not a function. Now when you draw your vertical line, I could have drawn it over here. If your vertical line intersects your graph at more than one place, such as here, it's intersecting at two places, not a function. Now on the TASC test, the official TASC test, you cannot draw on the examination booklet. They'll probably tell you that when you get into the test. So you're asking yourself, well, what am I going to use if I can't draw on the graph? You're going to use your pencil. So sometimes the vertical line test is called a pencil test because in the exam, that's what you're going to have with you. So suppose I have my graph here, number 3, and I want to test whether it's a function or not. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to put it on top of your graph, such as so. Notice when I put the pencil on top of the graph, it only intersects once. I'm going to put a dot to emphasize that it's only intersecting once, but remember you can't mark on the examination. So when I put my pencil, notice that it intersects the graph only once, therefore this is a function. You can put your pencil wherever you want to, so I can move my pencil over here. Notice it intersects the graph once. I can move my pencil over here. Notice it intersects the graph only once, therefore it is a function. If your pencil intersects your graph once, it is a function. If it intersects your graph more than once, not a function. Okay, let's get our pencil. Let's try this graph right here. I put my pencil here. Notice it's intersecting my graph only once. Therefore, this is a function. Let's get my pencil. Let's try, okay, number 5. I put my pencil here. Notice it's intersecting the graph 1, 2, not a function. And again, you can put your pencil anywhere you want to. You could have placed your pencil here. Notice it's intersecting 1, 2, not a function. Okay, let's get my pencil. Now your graph is a vertical line, so I'm going to try to line up my pencil next to it. Now for reference, I'm going to be putting dots, but remember, do not write on the official TASC test. Now over here, when I put my pencil, notice that my pencil is touching every point on the graph at multiple positions. Therefore, this is not a function. Usually when students get a vertical line as their graph, they're a little bit confused because they always ask me, where do I put my pencil or where do I draw my line? I says, well, the vertical line is your graph, so you're putting your pencil on top of it, and notice that your pencil is touching every point on your graph, therefore it's not a function. Here we have another graph. Let's get our pencil. Alright, when I put my pencil here, notice the pencil is intersecting the graph at two places, therefore not a function. I'm going to write NF for not a function. Again, you can place your pencil wherever you want to. You could have placed it over here. Notice it intersects at two places, therefore it is not a function. Okay, let's get our pencil. Now, sometimes you're given these points. So notice I have points that have been plotted. And you have to figure out whether it's a function. So take your pencil and we're going to put them at each individual point. Notice when I put my pencil here, my pencil is touching just one point. Okay, if I put the pencil here, it's touching one point. If I put my pencil here, it's touching one point. Here, touching one point. And here, it's touching one point. Therefore, this is a function. All right, let's get my pencil. Again, we have some individual points plotted. If I put my pencil here, one point. Over here, one point. Let's get the pencil, put it here. Now notice when I put my pencil here, I'm touching 2 points. So because I'm touching 2 points, this is not a function. All right, let's get my pencil. Now over here, this graph is what we call a piecewise function because it's in pieces. And notice that right here, I have a closed circle and an open circle. And remember when we were graphing inequalities, we said that when the circle is closed, it means I can use the point. And when the circle is open, it means I cannot use the point. So notice I have a closed circle and an open circle on top of the 1. It means I'm only using the 1 once because the closed circle means I can use it, but the open circle means I cannot. So if I take my pencil and I put it here, notice it's touching both points, but one is open and one is closed. So I'm only touching one point, the closed one. Therefore, this is a function. And again, you can move your pencil wherever you want to. You could have put it here. Again, one is open and one is closed. So you're only touching one point. Let's get our pencil. Now, when it looks like this, students like to come and drop their pencil right here and tell me, oh, it's a function. It only intersects once. And if you have any dots, closed or open, go to those and place your pencil. So if I place my pencil over here, notice that my pencil is touching both of the filled in dots which are closed, which means this is not a function. Let's get my pencil. Here's the last one. All right, now if I put my pencil here, it's only touching one dot. Let's get my pencil. And if I put it over here, I'm only touching one dot. So these 2 points are not on top of each other. There's a little gap in between them. Therefore, this is a function. So I gave you 12 graphs where we identified whether they are functions or not. So on your task test, these are what your questions will look like. They'll give you 4 graphs and then they'll ask you which graph represents a function. So again, remember when you get on the official task test, you can't write on the test. Take your pencil. Now if I take my pencil and I put it here, notice my pencil is touching 2 places on the graph, which means not a function. Okay, let's get my pencil. When I move my pencil to this graph, notice it's touching 2 places. 1, 2. Again, not a function. Let's grab my pencil. Now when I put my pencil here, my pencil is touching every point on that vertical line. Therefore, not a function. And therefore, if it's not 1, 2, or 3, it means your answer is number 4. But to test that it is a function, okay, let's get our pencil. If I put my pencil here, notice my pencil is only intersecting one place. Therefore, it is a function. Let's try example number 2. Okay, which graph represents a function? Okay, I put my pencil here. I notice that one circle is closed and one is open, which means I'm only using 1 point. So it's only actually touching 1 point. So this is a function. So my answer is 1. Don't have to go any further. But let's look at the others. So if I take my pencil and I put it here, notice that it's touching these 2 points. Both of them are shaded in, which means we're using both the same point, the same x value. So this is not a function. If I get my pencil again, same scenario. If I go here, notice my pencil is touching both filled in dots, therefore not a function. Let's get my pencil. If I go here, notice that part of this line is vertical. So for emphasis, notice that you're touching here, 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 here. You're not touching the open circle. But before you can get to the open circle, you have touched a couple of multiple places on the pencil and the graph, therefore not a function. Okay, last one. Which graph does not represent a function? So if we get our pencil, okay, I put my pencil right here. Notice it touched only once. This is a function. Let's get my pencil. Okay, they gave us some points. Once, 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 once. Therefore, this is a function. Let's get my pencil. Placed it here. It's touching once. Function. Alright, which means 1 is a function, 2 is a function, 3 is a function, which means my answer is number 4. But to prove it, let's get the pencil. Okay, pencil. So if I get my oh goodness. Okay, let's get the pencil. So here I get my pencil. Notice the pencil is intersecting the graph at 2 places. Therefore, not a function. So notice that with number 1, the pencil intersects once. If I draw a vertical line, once. Here, once. If you draw multiple vertical lines, they're only touching once. Here, this one touched once. But if you draw a vertical line here, you're touching twice. Now, when you get on the TASC test again, remember, do not draw on the official TASC test. Use your pencil. Once you place your pencil on top of your graph, it will be vertical. If it touched only once, then it is a function. If it touches 2 places, not a function. Good luck on your TASC examination.